Hello everyone. Today we're going to be talking about a brief overview of how to use presence as an e-board member of a club. First, you're going to get to presence. So let me share my screen. You'll start by going to mcla.presence.io. Here you'll be taken to the main presence page. This is what everyone on campus sees. It's the main page. What we're going to be actually looking at today is the back end of presence and where you'll put in information. So obviously, if you wanted to see what everyone sees about your organization, you'd click there and find it. If you had made an event, you wanted to make sure it was there, you would check events. Forms, if you had made a form, which we will get into in a different session, it would be there as well. But what you're looking at today is over here. You're going to go to an admin dashboard. So if you don't already know this, if you've not filled out the form Amanda Schuler sent out asking for new e-boards of clubs, you won't be able to have access to this. As soon as you fill that form out and we get information knowing who is on e-board, we will go in and add your name, and then from there you can get into the system. So this is the main login page. When you go to organizations, you'll see only the organizations that you are an e-board member of. Events will only be the events that your e-board membership is putting on. Analytics is also for your club itself, and we will go into all details about all of these different types of things in another chat. But today, I'm going to show you the basics of how to update your page. So you would go to organizations, and obviously I have access to all of the organizations. You would just see the organization you're a part of. So for today, we'll use SAC. So you'll type in your club's organization and click on it. Here is where you'll find all the information about your club. So some things I would recommend you do right off the bat is updating your main page. So that is this page right here. About your organization, your meeting time, your location, your cover image, if you had annual events, as well as contact information, e-board members, things like that. You can also go straight from here and update your roster. So we'll talk about this one first, and then we'll go to roster. So you'll come up here and hit edit. This will take you to the how to update your form. So you'll come through, make sure your name is correct. You're going to go into your little bio and make sure that bio makes sense for your club. These were all pre-programmed with basic information. If the mission of your club has changed, if something else has changed, make sure you go ahead and put it there. This is also where you would add the handle for your Instagram account. There's special spots for your Twitter and your Facebook, but Instagram isn't, so you would put that in your about. You're going to come down here. Your meeting time will go in here and where you meet. In the future, if your meetings in this upcoming semester will be virtual, there will be an option to put in the virtual meeting link for Teams in this system. So that is going to do a couple of things for you. That is going to make sure students know how to access your club meeting. If they are just a random student trying to join your club, they would have the link easily. They could click right on it. They could figure out how to get into the meeting. But it also will register every student who attends a general meeting into your roster. So then you don't have to worry about taking attendance at every general meeting. If you've made every meeting an event through your portal, which we'll talk about later, it'll automatically go into your attendees of your event, and that's how you can keep track of who's showing up to your meetings. Here's where you can add your social media tags. You can add a cover image. If your club does not have a logo, that is totally fine. If it's the accounting club and you want to have a calculator GIF in there or just a static picture of a calculator, you can do that as well. There's also a section for annual events. So if your club puts on an annual event like LAS puts on all around the world every year, this is where you'd go ahead and type that in. Now, if a traditional event your club puts on has never used presence before, it's not going to come up in the system. All of these have been events that SAC has put on before, so you would be able to just type right in and say, Escape Fear Factor exhibit. SAC did not put that on, but that is an option. So once you are done, you'll go to the top. And you will, if I made any changes, a little button would come up that says approve or submit for approval. You would click that, I would look over it and approve or deny based on what you write. So that is how you update your organization. Going back to your organization's page, the next thing you want to do is update your roster. So if you go to your roster, you will see officers, which is your e-board. And then you will also see a section for your advisor and your general members. You as a eBoard member are welcome to invite people to be your members. This can be done in a variety of ways. So students themselves can go on to Presence and click join and automatically put themselves into your roster. But you can also go in and add members that you know from last year were general members, or maybe they had signed up to show interest. This is the way you can do that. They will get a notification saying you've been invited to become a member of Student Activities Council. Do you accept? You'd accept. This is not a tool where you would put in the entire school roster because that's not going to be helpful for you. What's going to be helpful is this process. So are they coming to events? Maybe add them to your members. Are they interested in joining and getting involved? Add them to your members. This is also where you would add in the same way. You would hit add member. You'd search them by name. So we're going to use Jen LeBance. Search. She pops right up. She's already a member. Woo. But if she'd become an eBoard member and you needed to move her up, you would hit edit. And then that's where you could put her position. So if you have specialized positions that are not the recognized SGA president, VP, treasurer, secretary, I recommend putting them in the committee chairs section. So maybe they're your PR chair or your service chair. You would go ahead and add them into that spot. You can also do that same thing to add eBoard members that are no longer eBoard members, but still general members. You would bring them and change them to member this way. So we're going to go ahead and close because Jen's already a member. And it is as simple as that. So that is how you keep your rosters and how you keep your information about your club as up to date as possible. I'm going to talk about one more thing really quickly. The great thing about having an updated roster is that you can make events just for your members. So there's no need to have, and we will not approve, general member meeting in the large world of Presence. That floods our Presence feeds with just meeting after meeting after meeting after meeting and not necessarily events that students want to attend. So where you would make that is in this portal. You would go in and add an event, but then you would denote that it was just an event for your members, and then only the people on your member roster would be able to see it in the event slides when they have a SAC meeting or when they have a different type of meeting. So it is really important if you want to advertise your general member, advertise to your general members that you have events. That's how you're going to go ahead and do it, is making sure your member roster is up to date.